here in the Bahamas.
We are going to make it right.
If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know?
The commander is here.
What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out.
Don't eat. Something that pop your butt.
Yeah. Oh, I can.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob. It is a Sin City Crypto Takeover. I am joined with my normal co-host, David. There he is.
What's up, BitSquad? Man, we are so excited to be here. We hope you are excited to see us as well. Thank you guys so much for having us in studio. To all the BitBoy team and Hit Network, we are so excited to be here. And Robin, why don't you get us going here, my friend?
Yeah, so we'll be here all week. Not only here on the morning show, but around the blockchain and blockchain basement and other places as well. And so you're gonna get nothing but us. Now, if you're new to Sin City Crypto, we usually have a two-host type of setup. So you not just Ben today. So that's right. Now a lot of big news today. Bitcoin, 30,000.
Under 30,000.
Under 30,000. But well, we'll see if we can break over that mark. And then also big XRP news. And what else we got?
Gary Gensler might get fired. Stay tuned for that. He is having his hearing tomorrow. We're not going to talk about the hearing, but we're going to talk about a congressperson who is trying to get rid of Gary Gensler. Also, Apple has joined the savings market. You can now earn 4% on money with no minimum deposits on Apple. We're going to discuss that. And also stable coin issuers. There's new legislation coming. Circle is part of that circle. We'll talk about that. And we have a lot to talk about today. Also, we're doing our crypto Twitter minute. We're doing crypto cage match, Avalanche or Solana. So start putting in the chat what you guys are bullish on most, and you'll get our takes. And also, we're sharing a news segment today, Altcoin Alpha, what to look out for in the month of April. And so we're excited. Also, this day in crypto, 4 years ago today, one of the largest projects launched their smart chain. We're going to talk about which one that was and where it is today compared to 4 years ago. And so, yeah, let's get this thing going.
All right. So typical rundown here. We're going to go through some of the socials. We do have the BitBoy main channel at almost 1.5 million subscribers. If we're going to pull up Ben's channel, BitBoy channel, we also got to pull up your boy here. So Sin City Crypto here. So if you haven't had a chance to come over and check us out, we will be going live with the dual simulcast with the blockchain basement and Sin City Crypto after this one. And then going into the Twitter, we have the Ben Armstrong's Twitter here, which there's been a lot of fire coming from Ben lately, man.
Never a dull day on Twitter with Ben.
No, sir. So, and then one more thing, all things Ben here. You have the Ben Armstrong book, the Catching Up with Crypto, or Catching Up to Crypto, which he did the book signing in Las Vegas a few months ago.
He dropped the bombshell. Do you remember? I mean, we can't say it on air.
Oh, yeah, man. It
was regarding a top project.
Man, you know what? If you get a chance to go to any of these meetups or book signings or wherever it is, you get all kinds of like great alpha on the back from Ben. A lot of things that isn't thrown out as easily out here on the live. So more backstage discussions. So
you'll get the alpha that cannot be discussed publicly.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I always recommend checking that out. And then I do want to get into, we mentioned the Bitcoin price. We have $29,378.
Oh my God.
And 38 cents.
Crypto's crashing.
So you can see here, just to take a look at, the price movement over the last week. You see we came into the 30,000, but we did lose the 30K support. We were holding over the 30K this whole time. And then we also do got AJ coming up here shortly to discuss the charts. But
let me ask you a question, Rob.
What's up?
So the M2 money supply is shrinking, right?
Okay.
You have recession talks, and we're going to get into this as well, but a crap load of money is exiting the banking system, right?
Yeah.
Quantitative tightening is happening. Do you think that has anything to do with Bitcoin's price pulling down, or do you think this is just the ebbs and flow of the market? We saw a big run up to almost 31,000. Well, and now we're just seeing a pullback.
In the same way that you have the bears and bulls fighting over the order book and prices, you also have the liquidity moving from the banking sector and also into speculative markets, particularly in crypto and other commodities. gold as well. And so, you know, there is the M2 money supply, which is basically the circulating cash in the states. That has shrunk, and there's multiple factors behind that. One, you do have a lot of money exiting the banking system in its entirety. From offshore accounts to, you know, the SVB banking crisis, the Silicon Valley crisis going on, and we're just small businesses and large businesses were just kind of freaking out and just playing it safe by removing money and assets from the banking system. And so that in itself has you know, taking money out of the system, and it's no different. I know all markets are the same as far as, you know, if there's more liquidity, more volume, you're going to generally have, you know, it gives you the fuel for the run up in markets. And so if you take that fuel away, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, the price take a hit. But at the same time, you got to think, man, you know, Bitcoin, it is a solution to the issues that we have in the banking system. And so the fears that we're talking about with Silicon Valley Bank, the fears with small businesses and foreign countries not feeling secure, keeping fiat and dollars in U.S. banking system, those are remedied. And so and the solution is here. It is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin was birthed through the last banking crisis in 2008. And so this is what it was built for.
You sound like a maxi.
Yeah,
you've been hanging out with the Bitcoin maxi.
Everybody's got a little maxi in them, you know.
No, but you're right, man. Literally, the reason Bitcoin was created was because the banks went down, right, in 2008, like Robin said, and that's when the Bitcoin white paper was created by Satoshi. And is it a coincidence that the second largest bank failure in United States history happened, and then Bitcoin went from $20 to $25 to $30,000? I don't know.
No coincidence at all. It was literally cause and effect. The banks started going down, Bitcoin started rallying. Yeah. So it's an obvious. And you know, here's the thing: if we do go into a deeper recession or recessionary period, if we just kind of taper down, and you know the legacy finance takes a hit, stock markets just kind of trail off. If that were to happen, I don't think it's a positive for Bitcoin. But if you do get some kind of, you know, banking collapse, something of that nature, then if we see that, then it's everyone's running for safety, running for cover, and Bitcoin is one of the safe haven assets. So
Bitcoin is a shelter.
All right, now I do want to give a little shout out as well to the Bitcoin Miami. If you guys haven't got your passes yet, BitBoy Crypto is giving away 2 passes. We have 2 passes left, 2 days left. There's only 105 entries here. And before we even went live, I was asking if this is correct. I'm like, hey man, I mean, do you know the value, the worth of this? We went to Bitcoin Miami last year.
We spent a pretty penny.
Yeah, it was. We didn't get the luxury of getting the free passes last year, but we'll be there again this year. Or at least I will. I'm not sure if David's going to make it, but if you want to come hang out,
spent enough time with you, man.
Yeah, if you want to come hang out with Big Rob from Cincinnati Crypto, also Ben, you can get your passes here for free. And then also tomorrow, you know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is Gary Gensler Day.
Yeah.
Well, tax day.
It is tax day.
Sorry, my mind is on Gary Gensler.
But yeah, so tax day is tomorrow. If you guys haven't filed your taxes, we are not tax advisors, but we can say, if you're not ready, you can always file an extension. And then if you're going to file your taxes, there are platforms that kind of organize all of your data for you. And with your Roth IRA accounts, iTrust Capital is a great traditional vehicle to use for traditional services that you can use with crypto services. So with this, yeah, take a look.
Before we move on from Bitcoin and look at the other stuff, I want to share an article from Finbold. So the Bitcoin rainbow chart. Have you seen this rainbow chart? It's gonna
I have, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't pulled it up lately.
The rainbow chart has set the Bitcoin price for the end of this year. Okay, now after breaking the psychological level at $30,000, the price of Bitcoin has been moving in a sideways trend. Well, not today; it's moving down, but As things stand, the rainbow chart suggests that Bitcoin is currently in the accumulate phase, which is indicated by the dark green color. And I'll scroll down there in a second so you guys can take a look. This phase presently stands in the Bitcoin price area between around 27.9 and 36.7. In its most bullish scenario, which is highlighted in dark red, for the end of this year, the rainbow chart identifies the area between 180,000 and almost $250,000 as the maximum bubble territory for Bitcoin, as opposed to the most bearish scenario, which is in dark blue between 20 and 26.4.
See, you keep saying like blue, green, yellow. I just look at it as the flavors of the Skittles. So right now we're in lime, and you know
that or you're colorblind.
The yellow is, so that yellow band there. If you were to get into the yellow band at the halving, we're almost at 100 grand. You see that?
Yep.
And
okay, first of all, do you believe in this? The rainbow chart? You have the stock to flow model,
yeah,
that kind of
I wouldn't take that as the gospel there, like it's all or nothing. But I do think it is something to keep a look at. You know it's gonna follow the rainbow chart to some degree, right? And
I mean, is it?
Yeah, I mean the halving coming up, you're gonna at least be in the yellow band, right? And so the next halving, 100K, I think is a foregone conclusion, at least in our minds, right?
No. So we actually did a halving video last week, and my minimum price target for Bitcoin, 1 to 2 years post halving, is 150K. That is the worst case scenario minimum. Now, leading up to it might be a different story.
Okay.
But so if this reigns true, right? 20 to 26K is the most bearish scenario. That means the bottom is in, right? The bottom is in, right? Like, okay,
yeah,
if you're gonna say, hold on, if you're gonna say the bottom is not in, what is one, or what are some things that can happen that drives Bitcoin?
The overall markets right now, the legacy markets, the S&P 500. If you were to say get a
so
25, if you get a 25 to 40% drawdown and legacy markets in the S&P 500,
you think we're gonna see another 60-70% drawdown in Bitcoin?
I think so. I think we'll be testing. No. I think we'll be testing the sub 20K mark.
Hell no.
Now, there hasn't been one-to-one correlation between the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin as of the very, very short-term window, but historically it has followed it. And it's no coincidence that the all-time high was within 2 months of the all-time high of the S&P 500. The drawdown pretty much followed as well. And so for me, I until it breaks that mold, until it completely deviates, if the broader markets head lower, I think the same holds true for Bitcoin. But like I said earlier, I do think that one caveat is the fact that if there is a banking crisis, that people will seek shelter in Bitcoin, and there you'll have a deviation. But outside of that situation,
so you're in the camp that Bitcoin has not decoupled from the traditional stock market.
Not yet. I think perhaps maybe next bull market.
What does the chat think? Do you guys think Bitcoin has decoupled? Put a 1 in the chat if Bitcoin has decoupled from the traditional markets. Put a 2 in the chat if you don't think it has. So 1, Bitcoin has decoupled. 2, Bitcoin has not decoupled. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks. I personally think if it was a scale, if it was a meter, it would be closer to decoupled than it would be closer to not decoupled. And I think a lot of it is people, look, you got to understand, right? Hedge funds, these money market funds, people that are their sole goal is to make money. And if the stock market is bleeding and you get 5% on US treasuries, and the dollar is being threatened right now, right? De-dollarization is happening, right? We can't just turn a blind eye to that. That is happening, right? Where else are you going to put your money? You're going to put it in gold that goes up 2% a year? You're going to put it in silver, other precious metals? Or are you going to put it in something like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, who no matter what happens still has utility on top of retail, on top of having events like halvings, on top of it being deflationary, on top of it being on the blockchain? And so that's what I think, that narrative shift is going to come. So while everyone thinks that a recession is bad for crypto and Bitcoin, I personally think the opposite. I think when your back is against the wall and you're looking for an outlet and you can't find an outlet, you start looking at other ways that you haven't looked at before. And one of those ways is going to be Bitcoin and crypto.
Asset managers and hedge funds, they mitigate risk in recessionary periods. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. That's what happens time and time again. And risk on assets, which Bitcoin is in that bucket right now, that is something that the whales, the big money, they stay away from when in recessionary periods and when you're not trying to take on risk. And remember, in the same way that when we see Bitcoin rally, what happens shortly thereafter? You see the altcoins start to rally and pump there afterwards. It's like a waterfall effect. And so the profits move over. Hedge funds, some of these asset managers, some of the whales in our space, the venture capital, they're not only investing in crypto. So when they get gains, when they have the S&P 500 is rallying, the NASDAQ is rallying, when they're in massive green, they're in the profit, they move those into more risk on because they have that extra capital, that extra liquidity that they can diversify in. So that's the reason I think that.
I don't know, man. When I look at an asset like Bitcoin, I look all-time high on supply not moved in 1, 2, and 3 years. You look at a fixed supply. You look at the halving coming up. How could you not? How could you not? Also, Cryptos in here putting up fib levels. We said put a 1 or 2. He put 1.618.
Oh, okay. Well, you did say
that wasn't an option.
You said if there was a meter between 1 and 2, which
that's not what I said. I said put a 1 if it decouples,
and then you said I personally have a meter between 1 and 2.
Yeah, but that was my personal. That wasn't for the chat.
And your boy here got a meter too.
Chat doesn't get a meter. You mentioned altcoins, Robin. Let's take a look at the rest of the market outside of Bitcoin. So right now, we are sitting at $1.25 trillion in market cap with 48.5 billion in volume coming in. Bitcoin dominance is at 45.5%, down from almost 47% over the weekend and last week. And ETH dominance creeping up to 20%. Speaking of ETH, we are sitting at 2070, so $2,070, still up 11% over the last 7 days. Now, we're going to bring up AJ here in a second, and he'll talk about some levels.
Here's a question, though. With Ethereum, so before Bitcoin crossed over 30K, Ethereum was under 2,000.
Correct.
And now that Bitcoin is under 30K, you're seeing Ethereum test
still
this
over 2,000.
It is, but it's getting closer, right? We were at, I think it touched 2,200, right? Yesterday, or did it?
21.
It got pretty close. I don't know if it crossed it, but it was at least testing those levels yesterday. Yeah,
2144.
Yeah. So anyway, it was getting close. I'm just curious that if Bitcoin, say 2-3 days from now, by the end of the week, if it is still under 30,000, will Ethereum hold up over the $2,000 mark, or will it also lose support? I don't know. I am. What do you think?
A lot of people. Here's a better question, right? Because I'm the one that asked questions. Thank you very much. Everyone thought with all these the staked ETH being unlocked, there was going to be a massive dump. Oh my God, everyone's going to sell their ETH. Me, you, a few people who came on our show, we were like, we actually think the opposite is going to happen, which is true. And I want to clarify that because someone withdraws their ETH does not mean they're going to sell it, right? So we're seeing massive withdrawals, but we're obviously not seeing a massive amount of dumping. Does this say more to Ethereum and how bullish people are? Or does that say more to what kind of, whether we're in a bull market or a big bull rally, what does it kind of say more to?
You got two factors there, right? You got one, you have people that perhaps unlocked or looking to sell and just looking for a price target. And so you've been holding for over a year, as an example, with the staking, and now you want to take some profits off the table. You've seen Ethereum rally over $2,000 as of lately. You're like, hey, what's a good exit position? Perhaps 2,400, 2,300. I'll sell there. I don't think that people are looking to sell at 2,000 because they know that we're in an uptrend. I mean, we've identified it. We looked at the Skittle pack, and we know that, hey, you're probably going to get a better exit position. You've already held this long. So there's that factor right there. And then two, you just have a lot of people that are now open to staking, or that perhaps are hesitant to staking in the past, that are open to the idea of staking on chain with Ethereum for the simple fact that you're not locked in long term. and that you can get in and out of staking.
And just from a personal anecdote standpoint, when I got the notification on Coinbase to stake my ETH and earn interest, but not knowing when I was going to unlock it, I didn't do it because of that reason. Because I didn't know. We all know Ethereum's history and track record, right? Delay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because the last thing you want to do, Solana, is launch something that's not ready, Solana, and it just starts crashing, right? And so I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but for me as an investor who likes moving money around, and I do have a bag of ETH that I hodl, but what I have on Coinbase is what I trade with, right? And so for me, I was like, hell no. Is it going to be 2 years from now, 3 years from now? And so what we're seeing now with the tokens being unlocked, I think more money, and we have an article to talk about this in a little bit. More and more money is going to flow into ETH, right? Because now people can unstake and unlock whenever they want.
And then also I saw a couple projects that are rallying today. Render tokens up 12% on the 24 hours, up almost 50% on the week. Injective protocol over 50% on the week. Avalanche up 7% the day, over $20. And then we had our Avalanche video come out today as well on Sin City Crypto, so you guys want to check that out. 18% on the week for that. Loop Ring as well up. I'm a big, I think there's a lot of eyeballs on some of the projects that are working with Ethereum. Loop Ring is one of my favorite projects. Some I was looking at earlier before the show.
Their interface is very user friendly.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous,
the
man.
Loop Ring wallet.
Yeah, here actually I got it pulled up. The thing about Loop Ring, it is a decentralized platform, but it does have the order book it has some of the same feel and look.
They do batching.
Yeah, some of the same feel and look that you would get from your traditional exchange. And then you also have the same services like you would in a traditional DEX, or if you want to do order book fills, all in decentralized manner.
You can provide liquidity. You can. It's Loop Ring's clean.
Yeah, I was looking at I think it hit $3 on the last bull market. So I think it's one of the projects I've got an eye on. All right. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at the charts, and we're gonna bring AJ up here.
AJ. AJ, you gonna chant with me? AJ, you're lame. AJ, I got your back, bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man.
I appreciate
I want you to remember this and the chant and who chanted for you and who didn't, all right?
It's okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm not that worried about it. Hi, everyone. AJ Red's Crypto here to do some charts. Haven't done some charts here in a while, but I am excited to do them. But today, dude, isn't the best day.
Why?
For AJ.
Why?
Well, the Wells notice.
Okay?
I am sad. I'm upset. The Wells notice, whatever for Bitrex. How do you pronounce that exchange? Bitrex. Thank you.
Bitrex.
Well, they're out here calling Algorand security, and they have all these reasons why.
That was dude.
I'm freaking out, dude.
Well, the scary part is that wasn't in the Wells notice. That was in the lawsuit, which was filed today.
Right, the lawsuit. That's what I was reading today. Yeah, but I saw there was, and then I just don't know what to think of it. The algo price is falling. I am in a
Hold on, you're not ditching Algorand.
I'm not ditching it. Like,
bro,
listen,
you can't turn your back on the algo.
Here's the truth. Here's the truth. Right. My ledger is at my house. So I can't go home and get my ledger. I can't. My
ledger
is
2,000 miles from here.
But I am in an Algorand short with the couple thousand I have on KuCoin. So okay. I am in a short. But I'm kind of freaking out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm freaking out. But
hey, don't freak out, man. It's gonna be fine, bro. Gary Gensler's about to get fired.
I hope he does.
This is on that.
This is bad news bears, man. I'm not excited about this. So basically, here we go. So this is the ES1 exclamation point. I use this to monitor the stock market. And, there's the argument like how correlated is Bitcoin to the stock market, but it's still worth looking at, for at least looking at. So basically all of 2022, we were in this descending channel. In the beginning of the year, we broke out of this channel. We bullishly retested the channel. And now we're coming back up and we're getting rejected below the previous high. So kind of double top idea involved for the ES1 exclamation point. And then even if you kind of go in onto the 10 hour, the 12 hour, the MACD isn't pulled up on here, but the MACD the signal line has gone below the MACD line, kind of coming down from the overheated level on the RSI. Kind of some bearish divergence going on with the BitLab relative extreme. Also, if you haven't checked out the BitLab indicators, definitely check those out with Kelly Kellum at BitLab Academy. A lot of good stuff. I check them out for reference to try to find some confluence with my other favorite indicators. So there's my bit with that. So basically, we're looking at the ES1 exclamation point, double top idea If this comes down, we're looking for another retest, hopefully, which is a higher low from this one right here. So that's that one. If we go to my Bitcoin TA here, let me go out to like, say like the daily chart. So basically, hold on, this mouse is very strange. So basically, hold on, I got to pull this. This is different than what I was looking at. All right, there we go. So kind of if we look at since the beginning of the year, right, we can kind of draw this channel like this. Boom. Boom. Okay. So we're kind of at the top. It's kind of sloppy, but we're at the top of this channel is basically the point here. And if you pull up the MACD on the 12-hour, once again, the MACD signal line has gone below the MACD line. RSI coming down. Market cipher momentum, the money flow coming down. I am looking for Bitcoin to come somewhere down in this channel. If you pull a fixed range volume profile from say the beginning of 23 up to where we are now, a lot of the volume is down here right around that trend line, 22.8. Right now we're in the 29. So I am looking at Bitcoin to come down here at least for a little while. To where exactly, it's kind of hard to say. I don't know. Even if we pulled like a fib from, that's not the same fib I use. Where's the one I use? Retracement. Where's the one that I use? Man, oh man.
It's a sign.
Yeah, it is a sign.
Ditch it.
Ditch it. Yep, I'm ditching it. But basically, there are a couple levels to look for. Another level I'm looking for without involving the fib here is right here. This level was a ceiling. And this is one of the first levels we're going to be looking at right here, 28.7. This was a ceiling level. And now will it become a floor? Can we grab this level and turn around and flip the SR? Possible. Not completely sure. But even if you kind of zoom out like really far on Bitcoin, this level here has been really important. If you draw this line all the way across here, we did kind of cross it. In the past, it's been a floor, it's been a ceiling, but we are right there. But if you look at market cipher, we have bearish divergence right here and then down here on the RSI, it's also kind of hooking down from being way overheated with bearish divergence as well. So I'm definitely seeing a retest in the cards for the forecast for Bitcoin. I'm definitely looking for shorts for altcoins right now as well. Render is one popped up really high.
AJ,
I mean, this thing is juice.
Hold on. AJ,
I'm looking for this to come down.
AJ, real quick, before you move on from Bitcoin.
What's up?
So the rainbow chart we talked about said 20 to 26K worst case scenario. Are we seeing a lot of volume at those levels? Like if it does fall through, like what are the odds it falls through that bottom, the lower portion of that range that we were given? Or is there enough volume, enough buying pressure at that 20 to 25K level to where, that'll be a decent level of support?
Hold on, one sec. So basically I'm pulling a visible range volume profile here I'm trying to pull it out so it kind of resets up.
I know I kind of put you on the spot, but
it's all good. But yeah, if you look at the visible range volume profile, there is a good amount of volume, like where we are. To be exact, it's at the 28 level, kind of where the fixed range volume profile was. But there is a low volume node here, and then it kind of pops back out at around 23, and there's not a lot of volume to rely on above this. So I kind of think right now, considering this big historic SR level and all of the volume down here, I mean, I would prefer if Bitcoin stays in this upward channel. I mean, even if it goes down to 25, technically we're still in that channel. So until we bearishly break out of this channel, like bullish ideas moving forward, even if it goes to 25. But if we stay in this channel, we're good in the long run. But if we break down out of this, look at this. The most volume right here is sitting at 16,000 for Bitcoin. So there's a lot of, I don't mean to be a bear. I want it to go up, bull run forever. But
bottom's in, right? Bottom's in.
I would like to think the bottom's in.
Can we not talk about bears?
If I'm going to pick one, choose hard side, I'm going to say the bottom's in.
My man.
But at the same time, there's a lot of volume down there. And we're at the top of this channel. The stock market is getting double topped. And we're probably going to come down here, probably 25, 26,000 in the next couple of weeks. That's my call.
Awesome.
I'm looking for shorts. So there you go.
Thank you, AJ.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me out.
Sorry, I know I kind of cut you off when you were going through render. Did you have any?
No, I was just gonna say like render, you know, is really overheated. You know, right here, if you look at the RSI, like the price, where's the little brush? Price here. Oh, that's a very bad brush, but price here, and then on the RSI, while the price is going up, the RSI is going down. That's classic bearish divergence. So, and that's the 30-minute chart. Even if you zoom in, I'm definitely looking for a short on render, considering how hard it pumped. Not even just the past day, but the past week. This thing is overheated for sure. Yeah. I will be looking for a short on this chart in particular.
You've had some great calls, man.
Yeah. Especially hey, what can I say? What can I say? I've been working a lot on my trading lately. I kind of like deviated from it, especially, you know, writing here, especially for Ben. You know, I spent a lot of time just researching, writing, and so I miss a couple things. I get mad when I miss these trades. So lately I've been really focusing on my own TA, kind of learning new concepts. I've been doing really well trading, and I'm thinking about doing like a 1,000 to 10,000 challenge, like publicly. Well, I just said it on BitBoy Crypto, so there you go. But I'm going to do a tweet about that, and then I'm going to post a lot of my setups so my people can follow along. On Twitter, my name's AJ Writes Crypto. Also, I am good at trading, but for trading, definitely check out Kelly Kellum, BitLab Academy. Check out Frankie Candles. I'm just another humble, grateful employee here, but I love to do TA. So there you go. AJ, thanks for being here. You guys, you guys are my homies.
Thank you for having us, man. We love you, buddy. Boom. Except Robin. Don't dap Robin up. Remember, he didn't champ for you, bro. All right, whatever. Okay. AJ, thank you so much for that, guys. Go make sure to go follow AJ at AJ Writes Crypto on Twitter. He doesn't have his own channel yet, but I feel like that might be in the works.
Sure. I pulled back up here, and the microphone's like here.
Yeah, well, that's what happens. All right, you know what?
I do want to say for the viewers here that might not be familiar with Sin City Crypto, we got one thing that we're known for. Our chant, our brand is the Ola. And it is a Portuguese Ola without the H.
What's an Ola?
And so if you're part of the Center community, we're gonna need your assistance, because we have the Sin City Crypto Ola, and also BitBoy's channel is brought to you by Stake. And so if you want to have, what's up?
Is there a Gary Gensler style HR video coming up?
A Gary Gensler?
We're talking proof of stake. No, not this stake. We're talking this stake.
That video was so cringe.
So bad.
All right, so our Ola segment is brought to you by Stake, and so let's show the centers, the people that know and love us and watch our show. Show the community here how we get down. Drop the Olas in the chat, and then speaking of steak, I was also
overcooking the steak.
No, I like my medium well.
The dude cooked in New York and burned it.
On my
New York
steaks.
is not a fattier steak.
If the prime grade it is. But anyways, yeah, I got my start in Las Vegas as a grill cook.
Okay.
So, all right. So, without further ado, let's get that mid roll going.
All right, let's move on to crypto Twitter, also known as CT. Now, Robin, I want you. Okay, your portfolio's up 50%.
Okay.
You just open up your app and you see it. Oh my God, it went from $20,000 to $40,000.
Okay.
Well, that would be a 2x, 100%. What's the face you make? Let's see your portfolio is up face.
I just woke up. I'm in massive profit.
Just woke up, massive profit. Almost time for Lambo. Okay. Now, I went searching on crypto Twitter, and I found some intriguing faces that others make when the faces of crypto investors when they see their gains in 2023. This is from Mighty Dylan K on Twitter. And here are just some of the faces. And this was
what is happening right now?
So are you more the sideways tongue movement?
Dude, there's a lot of like weird tongue things going on. You got Biden reference. I don't know what's going on, and across. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, licking the world. Let's go out there and lick the world.
Yeah.
What I want to know, are you more a fan of the up and down or the left to right?
I like to keep that prisoner caged, bro.
Okay.
You know,
Let's move on. This is a family-friendly family-friend show.
Okay.
Now, this is another video I found from Whale Chart entering crypto Twitter for the first time. And you know, you're a normie.
Entering
the crypto Twitter. So you're a normie. You invest in stocks and traditional market, and you're like, you know what? Let me go check out crypto Twitter.
That person that like comes up to you like, hey man, what's up with this SHIB thing? And
no. Just someone who's never been on crypto Twitter, and it's like, you know what? Let me check out what these crypto bros are doing.
Okay.
Oh. He's like, what? Oh, what the? What? He's like, nope, I'm out of here. Oh man. Also,
because you don't go to the gym. Is that how you feel when you go in the gym? Like, I'm just curious.
I don't go to the gym. I have more muscle mass than you. Let's not go there though, Robin. This is not our show.
Okay.
This is Ben's show. It's an honor to be here.
I have a feeling that's your look.
We saw people new to crypto Twitter. Here is some live footage of what retail looks like after Bitcoin reclaims $30,000 and up. Bitcoin, nope, and yeah, okay. You know what's funny?
Is that all ladies?
All ladies.
Oh, where are they going?
They're going to buy Bitcoin.
Okay.
You know what's funny is
that a sewer system? Where were they running into? Like,
that's where Master Splinter is with the Ninja Turtles. You know what's funny? Like, in all honesty, when Bitcoin was at $70,000, all you hear people, man, I wish I bought it at 20, 69.
Yeah, okay.
I wish it was at 20K, man. It was at 30,000. I buy it right now. And Bitcoin got to 16.5. And what did we hear from people? Bitcoin's going to zero. I knew that's why I didn't invest.
No, people always talk about, hey, I'm gonna pull the trigger at this price point, and they never do. Right? It's so common. But now, if you had the conviction and you see that everything's on sale while everyone else is panicking, as people are puking, and CNBC all of a sudden wants to cover crypto and trash it or whatever it is, when mainstream media is talking about it, when you go to the barbecue and your friends are like, how about that FTX? I'm like, well, if you got the conviction to buy, then you are the smart money. And
because nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing's changed. Bitcoin
has not changed.
The Bitcoin blocks are still getting validated every 8 minutes, and Ethereum is still chugging along. Finally got its upgrade. There you go. So
speaking of chugging along, let's chug along to our headlines of the day. And so someone in the chat said, "Stop showing funny stuff. I don't want to laugh. I want to know about crypto." Well, your wish has been granted, my friend. So first piece of news we're going to talk about, this is from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin, Ether are like gold, says Kathy Wood, but Ray Dalio is skeptical. Recent turmoil in the banking sector has shown that Bitcoin and Ether can withstand shaky economy, outperform other asset classes, and function like gold, says Kathy Wood, the CEO of ARK Invest. Bitcoin and Ether are now acting as risk-off assets and as a flight to safety for investors amid macro uncertainty. She claimed that she said, quote, "They're going to disrupt the traditional world order. What are Bitcoin and Ether doing? I mean, by the very fact that they're being considered flight to safety like gold, that's really interesting and suggests much broader base adoption and acceptance than I think most people understand." And then on the contrary, though, Ray Dalio, which I really like Ray Dalio. I like listening to his takes. Don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but it's important to get the other side of the argument as well, right? Ray Dalio said in an April 12th interview that Bitcoin could not serve as an effective currency because it's too volatile and central banks won't adopt it. He said, quote, "Bitcoin is neither an effective storehold of wealth or a medium of exchange, so it is not an effective currency. It has a volatility to it that has no relation to practically anything. It's a very, very poor alternative to gold." Now, he dropped two very's in there, right? He could have just said very poor. He said very, very poor alternative. He also said, here's interesting, and I'm curious to get your take on this, Robin.
Okay.
And I'm going to make this bigger so you guys can really see they can outlaw Bitcoin. They can regulate it. Central banks and countries pretty much don't want it anyway. He said, adding that it gets attention. Are you okay over there? Adding that it gets attention way out of proportion. And he strengthened this case by pointing out that gold is the third largest reserve held by central banks. Do we need nation states and central banks and Bitcoin to be seen as a currency or a medium of exchange?
You know, here's the thing. I think
whose side are you taking, Kathy or Ray?
Oh, of course, Kathy. Here's the thing. It's funny that Ray Dalio is against Bitcoin because he was on the Lex Friedman podcast probably about a year ago, beating the Bitcoin drum, talking about that digital currency is here to stay, or as he said, different monies, as he said, internet monies, is what he was quoting over and over again.
Monies?
Yeah, he did say money. It was just kind of weird, but.
Either
way, he did see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? He got the orange pill. He had did a little research into it, but just like a lot of other retail people that just first dabble into crypto, he's gotten scared out of the game and he's switched sides. But here's the thing. He said that Bitcoin is a very, very poor alternative to gold. I like to think that roles are actually reversed. I think that gold is a very, very poor a very, very poor version of Bitcoin because it lacks a utility. And so here's the thing. If you want to have a commodity, if you want to, commodities are really advantageous to prevent the traditional, to get out of the traditional markets, to get out of finance, to get out of the government's control. You can control your own money, right? And the benefit with gold is that, or the benefit with Bitcoin versus gold is that Bitcoin is digital. You just pick it up anywhere as long as you got an internet connection. Here in the States, hey, if I want to buy gold, I can go get an ETF of gold. I can go to a pawn shop, buy gold.
Real gold. ETF is not real gold.
But here's the thing. It is a digital representation of gold.
That's manipulated.
But it doesn't matter. Either way, you're still getting exposure to gold.
You're gonna go take your ETF and go buy something?
You can still get an ETF. They do buy and sell gold in relation to how many people are buying and selling gold. Now you can trade those digitally, but that is only services that are allotted to U.S. residents or to privileged traders abroad that can trade in the stock exchange. So if you don't have access to those services, you can't get a digital representation of gold. So outside of the EU, handful of other countries, the States, there's a small percentage of people that can get digital gold. Outside of that, if you want exposure to gold, you have to go out and physically buy it. And then
hope that gold is real. Yeah. And hope it's pure and hope it's
Yeah. You can get counterfeit gold, fake gold.
I think you made an interesting statement. You said Bitcoin is not a poor version of gold. Gold is a poor version of Bitcoin.
It is. It doesn't lose its value by any means. Gold will always be gold. It always, have its value. And as fiat currencies inflate and lose its value, gold will increase in value. It's a scarce commodity. It's no different than Bitcoin. However, with Bitcoin is that it can be traded and moved at the speed of light, as Michael Saylor likes to say all the time. It can, it can move at the speed of light.
We had Michael Saylor on our show, actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And so the advantages, obviously, in the digital era is that, it's seamless. It moves.
I think, and we'll close this topic out on this. I think if you look at gold versus Bitcoin in a more micro level, right? Whether it's 6 months to a year, maybe even 2 years. Yeah, sure. Gold is a better, consistent store of value. But if you look at it in more of a macro sense, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 to 20 years, how can you sit there and say gold is a better hedge, a better store of value than Bitcoin? Gold has gone up 2% in 10 years. In 10 years. And look what Bitcoin has done in just 3 months.
I will also say that throughout the history of human civilization, with our monetary system, just kind of going back, it's always been leveraged off of gold. And so countries would always keep reserves of gold and then keep their wealth in gold or in other commodities, particularly gold, though. And so if we see that nation states start acquiring Bitcoin as part of their treasury assets to replace gold, even if it's 1%, 5%, whatever it is, you're going to start creating a supply shock. And when one country does one, if France or England or the US or whatever countries start acquiring gold, keeping it in their own personal reserves, you're going to have an arms race and a battle, and that's when you're going to see an explosion in price. A lot of people always say, man, like, hey, Bitcoin is boring. It doesn't rally too hard or whatever it is. It's the alts are always going to outperform. I say be careful, because the day that, or in the era, which is I think fast approaching, that you get the countries fighting over gold as a treasury asset, and that arms race where they're trying to buy up and scoop up the supply, I think that is going to send Bitcoin absolutely parabolic. So,
okay. Speaking of sending someone to space, I don't know where that segue came from, but we have some potentially amazing news. One of our least favorite people in our government, Gary Gensler, might be on his way out. What?
No, not Crypto Daddy.
No, not Gary. We have a nickname for him on Sensitive Crypto. It's Gary the Gun Gensler, because he's always messing stuff up. I can't use the word that I use on our channel because out of respect for Ben. Representative Warren Davidson is going to introduce legislation to fire Securities and Exchange Commission boss Gary Gensler for his crypto overreach. Now, it's important to note as well, Gary will be testifying in front, is it the Senate or House? House Financial Oversight Committee. And it's going to be crypto and digital asset focused. I cannot wait to watch that. I mean,
we'll be here because it's this week.
Yeah.
And so we'll be covering that live.
I truly hope he gets eviscerated with questions and just gets backed into a corner. I can't wait.
Like, they barraged Janet Yellen, what was it, last month with the banking crisis. And
she's like, we'll be in $50 trillion debt.
Man, I was impressive to watch, man. And from what I've seen, her previous testimonies, where they just like lobbed her little softballs, they turned up the heat. So I'd like to see the same with Gary Gensler, if not, throw the whole kitchen at him. So.
Well, what's funny with Gary is, didn't he used to teach basically a crypto class at MIT?
Yeah.
So how much is he feigning ignorance?
Listen, here's my take. Okay,
it's not feigning. It's what he's doing. He's playing into the system and favoritism. I'm telling you.
Here's what happened. I know exactly what happened. Hear me out here. Gary was teaching a class at MIT, blockchain class. One of the crypto bros stood up in the middle of his class and said, "Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're an idiot." And everyone clapped and they all laughed at him. And then since that day, Gary has hated crypto. That's what happened, guys.
It's an interesting take. Okay.
What do you think? Right?
What, were you in the class?
I was not in the class. Did you see this firsthand? I heard rumors. All right. All right. Back to this. So Securities and Exchange Commission Chair Gary Gensler could be facing unemployment. Hopefully he doesn't qualify for unemployment. After U.S. Representative Warren Davidson declared he would introduce legislation to fire the SEC boss. Now, I'm not a political expert here, but do they need legislation to get rid of this guy? Or can like someone like the president or I mean, I guess the president wouldn't do it, but either way. So Paul Grewal, who is Coinbase's chief legal officer, I believe, I could be wrong. He tweeted this talking about how, what the SEC is doing is driving innovation out of the states, to which Warren Davidson quote tweeted that and said, "Yup. To correct a long series of abuses, I am introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board. Former chairs of the SEC are ineligible." Now, obviously, chain of command, you have a president, vice president. And in terms of the SEC, you have the chair and the commissioner is the number two. Well, guess who the number two is? And that is none other than crypto mom Hester Pierce, as she has publicly again rebuked her agency and Gary Gensler on the crypto regulation. This is from CNBC. So it's nice to see articles like this that are not in the crypto universe, right? Not Cointelegraph, not Daily Auto.
That's the old one right there. That's the one that was from February.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's another one.
Got it.
Yeah, see where it says the date, February 9th?
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Biscuit Man back there.
You got the decrypt one?
No. Oh, yeah, right here.
There you go.
They try to set me up, man. I'm telling you, these guys try to set me up. Biscuit and Robin, they try to set me up.
Trying to set you up for success.
So, thank you.
All right.
Okay. So this is, this was from February 9th, but this was reported by CNBC, still very important. Then we have the decrypt one. This is from April 14th, so on Friday. SEC's Hester Pierce says Gary Gensler's plan to target DeFi undermines First Amendment. So we have Gary Gensler filing Wells notice. So everything happened right after FTX came down, right? FTX came down. We know Sam and FTX were the golden child for crypto regulation, and that all got completely obliterated. And since then, regulators, Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, the OCC, the FDIC, they are gunning for crypto.
They've been gunning the whole time. The only thing,
but
difference
they turned
is
the dial.
After FTX, it just became more publicized. Because before that, you had the lawsuit with BlockFi, which was one of the catalysts for them filing for bankruptcy eventually. And then there, obviously the XRP and the Ripple case. They got a track record of poking at crypto. And I think now it's just what we're seeing now is that in crypto space is that because we're in a bear market right now, the projects are building and there's not too much coming from the crypto side. So what is front and center are what the regulators are talking about. But they've been hating on crypto this whole time. This is not anything new. Now there's just not any other news to kind of drown out what the SEC is doing. And it's interesting that Hester Pierce has come out again. Now she is routine. I think this is like the fourth or fifth public statement that she's come out and went against Gary Gensler. Now this is her boss, which is interesting because most companies, most branches of government,
it's like saying the owner and the CEO.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and or vice president and president, whatever, they're usually on the same page. Here on the subject of crypto, it is not that. And what we're seeing right now between Gary Gensler and Hester Pierce it's interesting. And if he were to leave office, would she be somebody to come in and fill that role? I know the proposal from
Davidson.
Warren Davidson is that he wants to have a committee, right? Or like a panel. And so he's trying to abolish the position in its entirety, which I'm more in favor of spreading out.
He wants an executive director that reports to the board.
Yeah. So basically you're going to have the SEC chair, which would be the directman. And then from there, they're going to report to a board. So it's not going to be one guy that determines the fate of all of crypto, essentially, because there's not any regulation coming from what's the commodities one?
CFTC.
The CFTC, yeah. And so there's not much regulation coming from there. They testified, said that they were underfunded and didn't have enough money to properly regulate the crypto environment. They're trying to generate more tax revenue to facilitate that. But right now, the only people stepping up, realistically, is the SEC. And so if you're going to have the head of SEC making all the decisions without any repercussions, he has a gross overreach over an entire industry. And so why not break that up? Give one person that answers to a board of people, have the board of people be peers in the crypto space, or at least have some representation from the crypto community in there. And yeah, I mean,
there's one issue with that is it makes too much sense. And we know the government doesn't necessarily do. Now, I want to ask you this.
But I will be personally endorsing this bill or legislation when it comes out. So when it is introduced, I'm gonna.
I want to ask you this. Now, you mentioned you don't see the number one and number two going against each other, like Hester Pierce has done with Gary Gensler. Do you think it's all lip service? Like if Gary Gensler stepped down and she for some reason stepped into chairman, would she do what Gary did? Go from being a blockchain fanboy and talking good about blockchain and potential to.
Do I think there's some good cop, bad cop coming through? Yeah, absolutely. The SEC is still going to have the interest of the banks and traditional finance. That's who they service, right? The Securities and Exchange Commission, who's the biggest securities? Banks, hedge funds, venture capital. I mean, you can throw in other securities like technology and the medical field as well. But outside of perhaps those two outliers, it's all in finance. And so that's who they service. That's their clients. That's where they make their money. That's who they're going to keep happy. And whether or not it's Gary Gensler or Hester Pierce in the driver's seat, they're still going to look out for their interest. It's just the way the system works. Now, she can be a little bit more vocal, a little bit more lenient towards crypto. I think she would be a better fit than Gary Gensler.
How could she be worse than Gary, right?
Yeah, but I just think at this point, I think there needs to be more clarity from Congress and remove the power from the SEC itself. Perhaps to give some framework, some guidance. I would like to see that crypto get its own kind of designation and to differentiate both crypto and securities, to say, hey, this is what makes crypto a commodity. This is what makes crypto a security. If you check these boxes instead of the outdated 1930s way of identifying what is a security, I think that is not, you can't be applied to cryptos now. There are certain aspects of it that do match, but realistically, it is completely different now. So,
you mentioned banks. And the next piece of news we're going to talk about is the banks and how 1 trillion with a T, not a B, not an M, not any other letter in the alphabet, but a T, has likely exited the U.S. banking system as America risks global economic isolation, said the former U.S. Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, as he believes panic in the sector is not over.
Oh, I like that band.
And the first recession since 2007 may be inevitable. In an interview with the Financial Times, he said it appears about $1 trillion was pulled out of the banking system. He said, quote, the capital markets shut down for 2 or 3 weeks. Now they're opening, but not to the extent they were. So I think it's pretty likely we will see a recession if you look at what's happening to credit. Now, we have seen money, a lot of money, flow into money market funds, right? Where people are getting 3, 4, 5% interest. We're seeing people buy treasury securities like T-bills and T-notes and bonds. Well, now Apple has decided that they're going to give you a savings account and give you 4.15% interest.
That's unheard of, man.
Wow. This was breaking this morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, so about 2.5 hours ago. So Apple on Monday launched its Apple Card savings account with a 4.15% annual percentage yield. It requires no minimum deposit or balance. Now, I want to know why. I want to know why this is so important, you guys. Because if you see, let's say you bank with Bank of America or Chase or Wells Fargo, you see, hey, we're offering 3%, 4%. If you have $250,000, if you have $500,000, if you can deposit $10,000 a month, this is giving you 4% with zero minimum requirements, zero. And users can set up an account from the wallet app or on their phones. What's that?
I said, tell me it's a rug pull without saying so.
You think it's a rug pull?
Where's that coming from?
It's from Goldman Sachs.
I know, but where's that coming from?
Oh, where are they generating the yield?
Well, you got to remember, Apple does have a credit card, and it's also through Goldman Sachs. And you got to figure they're invested in money market funds or they're, here's also what they're doing. If you put your money in Apple as a savings, they're doing the same thing the banks are going to be doing. Well, they're taking that money and rehypothecating.
But yeah, well, here's the thing. This is actually what Goldman Sachs does. Goldman Sachs is an investment broker, right? They're not a traditional bank. They are listed as a bank. But they don't have the same retail services that you would get from Bank of America and other banks. So you have what is a company, a major like top company that I don't know where they rank as far as the biggest banks in the world, but we all know who Goldman Sachs is. and they can operate as a bank, but realistically, they're an investment house, right? And so, what do you think they're going to do with your money? They're gonna go out and invest it. And I would just be a little hesitant because one, is
it FDIC insured? That's what I want to know.
If they operate like a bank, I would assume so. But here's the thing: they're going to be out there investing your money. So
yeah, but here's the thing: like that. Okay, if you're going to insure my money up to $250,000, and you want to take it and you want to rehypothecate and invest, sure, okay, that's how the economy keeps going, right? Without printing money.
That's all.
But at least let me get a bigger piece of the pie, man. Don't take 10 grand from me. Lend that 10 grand out to Robin via credit card. Charge him 20% interest and give me less than 0.25%. Like, that's complete BS.
Well, I think times are changing. Right now, times are changing.
And your money is debatably covered. I've talked about this on the basement several times whenever people talk about FDIC. Some other people know this, but the question for you, how much do you think is in the FDIC reserves?
Not enough.
But what do you think it is?
I think the number was about 30 billion.
It's 128 billion. So what? Half
after the whole bailout with Silicon.
No. That's how much was there. So they didn't even have enough to bail out Silicon alone.
Yeah, because Silicon had 170 billion.
But no, they didn't have enough money if they went over their 250K. They did have enough money if they stuck to their limits, but they didn't. They guaranteed every depositor their money back. So they guaranteed to make everyone whole to indemnify them. But the problem is that bank, I believe it was either 70, 80, or 90% of the deposits was over that $250,000 threshold. And now they're talking about an unlimited FDIC. Like, how much are these banks going to have to pay into the insurance program? Because that's what they do.
It comes off the bank. It comes off the backs of people like me and you,
we
right?
know they're not taking that out of their bottom line.
Yeah, they
going to come from
they print it. They print it and they debase our currency, and then we feel it through inflation. And the thing is we don't see it immediately. And then next thing you know, 2 years down the road, you look at the price of gas, it's doubled. And you're like, and it's because of actions like that. And then who ends up getting that money? It goes to the banking system, so that way the CEOs keep their jobs. And then also most of these bank accounts, especially with Silicon Valley Bank, these are for offshore accounts. And so you're just making whole to investors from abroad to make sure they don't lose their money, and then we end up paying the bill because you printed out the money and just.
But to play devil's advocate, if you didn't do that, because you had pension funds in Sweden, you had funds in Switzerland that were investing in Silicon Valley Bank. If they didn't do that, then any other foreign nation that invests money in the U.S., they'd probably be hesitant. So that's playing devil's advocate there.
But here's the thing. You just got to keep doing that over and over again.
Yeah, there's a problem.
With fractionalized reserve, there's always going to be instances where people are going to, the masses are going to try to draw on their money, whether or not it's
not even fractional anymore. It's zero.
Yeah, it's zero. Yeah.
0% since 2020.
Literally zero. March 26th.
Yeah. 0%.
And nobody's complaining about that.
It's not sustainable, guys. And like I said, if you're going to take my money,
the whole thing's going to crumble eventually.
It has to, right?
Yeah.
It has to.
That's why I'm in crypto. So
well, here's the thing. Back look back 100 years ago, the Great Panic of 1917 or 1913, where everyone lined up at the banks to take the money out, right? The Great Bank Run. Well, now I don't have to be like, all right, honey, I'm going to go down to the bank to pull all my money out. Nope. Click a button and it's out.
Yeah.
Information spreads like wildfire nowadays. So the banking system is on the verge. And going back to what Hank Paulson said, it's not over. And it's not over. And so be careful. I always have multiple bank accounts, right? We have to be plugged into the fiat system to some extent, pay our bills because crypto's not there yet.
But you also got to think, this is probably nation states that have pulled money out, right? And we saw the weaponization of the dollar. You had the U.S. just seizing, was it $600 billion through their little sanctions or whatever it was, just straight from the Russian economy when they invaded Ukraine. And so that just sent a message like instantaneous, like, hey, if you don't line up with our views, you can, whatever is going on in the world, you can. The thing is if either whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. If you don't agree with the narrative here in the States and you're a foreign country and you're holding dollars, if you don't side with the States, then your funds are at risk, right? That's what we all learned. That hey, if I'm in Thailand, you know, if I'm the country of Thailand and I have money in the States, and all of a sudden our political system doesn't line up with the States, they can take all of the assets, right? I mean, you're supposed to keep dollars to trade, and maybe now you don't keep as much. Maybe now you don't buy those bonds. And now I think that's part of why there's $1 trillion that left the banking system.
Truly. All right, let's move on. Crypto cage. Ooh. All right.
We're from Vegas, man, so it's all about UFC and cage matches out there.
That's right. So I'm throwing 2 coins in the cage. All right.
What you got?
Throwing Solana and I'm throwing Avalanche.
Oh, sorry. Solana couldn't show up.
Whoa! Network is down. Damn. Robin.
You knew
What's
that was
up?
coming.
Solana, Avalanche, 2 leading layer 1s.
Okay.
Both have VC funding. Both have high throughput. Both have a decent tokenomics.
The obvious
are
answer
Rust-based?
here. The obvious answer here is Avalanche, right? And so
No,
if I,
don't tell me. No,
Here's the thing.
Please, for the love of
Here's
God.
the thing.
You're going to pick Solana?
And then, well, this just depends on your time horizon. If I'm looking for the next bull market, so I'll say within 5 years, right? Then the next 3 to 5 years, if that's the time horizon, I think that Solana got beaten down so hard from the FTX collapse, a lot of the outages. I think they have more potential to rally.
Stop it.
I think that Avalanche has more fundamentals. They have more depths in the works, more partnerships
What
in the
are you
works.
smoking?
But hey,
Yeah, dude.
don't forget that
That stuff's not legal in Georgia.
What is wrong?
Solana's got the new phone coming out, bro.
Get out.
The
Stop
Solana
it.
phone,
Okay,
I'm
all
telling
right.
you,
You're
I
done.
said it on air on Cincinnati
You're
Crypto. We are
Dave
going
and I
to
have
we
a
are
new
gonna
phone
buy a
coming
we're
phone,
gonna
out.
but
buy the
that's
Solana phone. It's gonna be our corporate phone, and so you know, I'm just curious. You never know, man. I'm telling you, there's gonna be a lot.
What a joke. So
But
you
I
would
just think-
rather pick.
Okay, I like Avalanche on the long term, but if I'm looking from the analytics, from the tokenomics, from where price was to all-time highs, I'm telling you, Solana has more room to run. And just when you think something's out, remember everyone was scratching Ethereum.
More room to run out of
Ethereum,
network.
When Ethereum had to rewind, and all of a sudden you had ETH Classic. No, everyone didn't want to touch Ethereum. They're like, oh hey, it's got its problems, whatever. And we see now how that played
I mean,
out.
okay,
in the
Boomer.
price
That's like
rally.
looking at the dollar 100 years ago and be like, its tokenomics used to be great.
It did used to be great. It
How'd
used
that
to be great.
98%
Okay.
drop go?
I just
Come
think,
on, man.
I think
Are you being
from
serious?
a 3 to 5 year time horizon?
You're
I think
insane.
that you're going to get more returns out of Solana at the price now versus Avalanche at the price now. That's my personal opinion.
You are
I
outside
like
of your
Avalanche.
realm
I like
of
Avalanche longer
mind.
than that, though. So,
You are outside. Like what?
it's Solana phone, bro.
Okay,
Solana
listen.
phone.
Listen, Solana, and I can't tell if you're joking or being serious. Solana, I'm not saying Solana is going to zero. I do think Solana has somewhat of a future. Will it be a top 5 layer 1 or a top 10 layer 1? I don't know.
Okay.
But is it going to go to zero? I don't think so. But to sit here and say you're taking Solana over Avalanche, which I don't know. I mean, we have our own crypto show. We do 5 days a week. And last week, all we talked about was Avalanche and how they're bringing enterprises and Amazon Web Services and Evergreen subnets. We literally just published a video. Money is flowing in Avalanche. Partnerships are flowing in Avalanche, and the opposite is happening on Solana. You have the 2 of the top NFT projects, not just on Solana, but in NFT land, period. Just leave Solana and say, nope, we're going to Polygon, we're going to Ethereum. And let's take a look here. Let's pull this up real quick, BJ.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Okay, I'll do it.
Total value locked, okay? Avalanche is at 43,400 active users, 300 protocols, and it's got about 860 million in total value locked. Solana coming in at number 12 with less than half of that, less than a third of that.
But it was at the top of the list. And what I'm
And
saying
only
is that
102 protocols running on their network.
When that TVL comes back, when all of a sudden the corporate money wants to pile back into Solana. I'm just saying, I think venture capital still believes in Solana. Kevin O'Leary's still out here beating the Solana drum. I think that once we start getting into our bull market, I think money's gonna pour back in.
Casey Goodwin from the chat brought up a good point. Did Sam pay you? And is this something I don't know about?
Like, I'm not a huge Solana homer. I'm just looking at it from an investment thesis here. At the price it is now, to where the price it was, the dominance it had in the later
one.
Solana's
going to get back to $250?
Yeah.
You are out of your mind.
David, if you really think
Dude
Sam was
smoking,
paying
bro.
him, do you think he'd be wearing that shirt?
This is like you know
Also,
what?
is that still on sale at Baby Cap
I
or
came
no?
out here to Atlanta, and out here in Georgia, it's a lot of trees, and I wanted to blend in. I wanted to fit in with the community, and so
yeah, the community
I'm
loves your
personally
shirt. Not your take though. that was terrible, guys. What? Crypto cage match. Who are you taking? Are you taking Avalanche or Solana? Let us know in the comments. AVAX or Sol? Which one are you taking? And I want you to think about his argument. Was there good phone coming
Are we
out?
doing the ones and twos on
I
this?
spit facts, man.
Are you doing ones and twos on this? Yeah, let's do ones and twos. All right,
One
so-
Avalanche, two Solana, because they're
all right,
going to
I
be
better
number
see
two.
a couple twos in here, man. I better not
A
be
couple twos.
I better not
Glad
be the
you're,
only one here.
Glad you have your expectations set really high there, my friend.
Don't try to use the
Speaking
company
of high
phone when I get it.
expectations, do you guys have some altcoin alpha?
We do.
Ooh.
Ooh, Alfalito. All the way. Before we move on, if you guys want to know why I am so bullish on Avalanche, go watch the video we just posted here on Avalanche. I'll leave it at that. All right. Altcoin alpha. So we got coin market calendar pulled up here. Couple things to look out for over the next few weeks. So this is a little ways out, but pretty important. Litecoin's having event. It's happening on August 5th. Some more recent things to look for. Tomorrow, Helium will be migrating officially to Solana.
God, I didn't think it could get worse for Helium.
Robin must have been on
Nothing
that.
like that radio Wi-Fi.
Robin must be an advisor to Helium. Then we have Rocket Pool, which is one of the top liquidity stake providers for Ethereum. They are having their Atlas upgrade. That is also happening tomorrow. If you want to get some alpha on Hedera, they're doing a Spaces tomorrow at 1 p.m. UTC. I hate the UTC thing, man. I always get so confused. Also, if you're a meme coin fan and you like dogs and you like Dogecoin, Baby Doge is getting a KuCoin listing. That is also happening tomorrow.
Did Baby Doge crack the top 100? I heard.
That's my baby doggy.
Yes, your baby doggy.
That's my baby dog.
Where did it actually? I didn't.
While you're looking for that, Near Protocol is having a town hall. This is on April 19th, so in 2 days. So if you want more information on what's happening on with Near, make sure to join their town hall. And then there was one more thing here, I believe. Nope, that was it. So that is your blockchain alpha, guys. And this resource, if you want to use it for yourself, highly recommended the website name is coinmarketcal.com. Now, let's move on from altcoin alpha to what happened 4 years ago on this day, Robin. Well, you already know because I told you. Binance officially launched their Binance their Binance Smart Chain. All right. BSC, this is from April 18th. So it happened on the 17th. It was reported on the 18th by CoinDesk. Binance reveals timeline for BNB cryptocurrencies move off of Ethereum. Crypto exchange Binance has launched this new custom blockchain, Binance Chain, also known as Binance Smart Chain, also known as BSC. I call it the Binance Scam Chain, which will support its $3 billion BNB cryptocurrency that currently runs on Ethereum. Announced Thursday, the exchange said it will activate BNB on the new network on Aprul 23rd.
So now, hold on. You call it Binance Scam Chain for what premise? That it's
because
cheap
every
and easy to
scam,
fed?
every rug pull has been on BNB.
It's just it just
Sorry, bro.
It speaks loud. It speaks loud and proud about how easy it is to launch your own token
and rug pull
to launch your own project
and scam people
on the Binance Smart Chain
and rug
compared to Ethereum. Man, Ethereum
people don't get rug.
It takes a massive amount of money and time to
which
build.
is why scams don't launch on there. That's the point. That is the point. I'm not going to go drop $300,000 to scam people out of $100,000.
It just shows you, like, from a developer standpoint, how easy it is to build on Binance. And you don't need to have a college degree. Like, hey, if you want to participate in crypto, you want to go out there and learn how to code, you want to learn how to get a little taste of smart contracts. Hey, Go on Binance Smart Chain.
Launch a scam token.
That's part of it. It's like the same. It's like the same narrative. Like, hey, well, you know what? We don't use crypto because people do money laundering, right? Yeah. You sound like Elizabeth Warren over here, man. In the simple fact that people, people use crypto to do money laundering. So now all of a sudden crypto's bad. And because Binance Smart Chain happens to have some bad actors over here that are rug pulling and making crap projects, all of a sudden the whole project is trash. Like, no, man.
Speaking of trash projects, we have XRP, but before that.
Well, before that, I do want to give a shout out to Steak. Once again,
they are bringing the XRP. The XRP section we have today. And so you saw it in the title of today's video. You saw it in the thumbnail. Is Ripple ditching XRP? And again, this is brought to you by Stake. This is from the Bitcoinist. Here's why Ripple is not using XRP for new product. And a dev explains. Last week, Ripple launched a new product, Liquidity Hub, causing a huge discussion in the XRP community. The outcry centers around the fact that Liquidity Hub does not support the XRP token. As a result, speculations have surfaced that the company might ditch and neglect the XRP token. However, a Ripple developer responsible for the payment solution on the ODL today provided some clarity as to why it's not being used. And also David Schwartz, the chief technology officer, spoke out as well. Said,
so why would they offer a new DApp or a new segment of the Ripple network and not use the XRP token?
This question I'm going to
like a no-brainer, right?
This question I'm going to ask. I'm not asking it because it's what I believe. I'm just asking it as a thought experiment. Do you think Ripple maybe has an inkling that they might lose in XRP gets listed as security and they have to ditch it?
I think perhaps they're just trying to avoid exposure, whether just any exposure at all. I think they're just trying to keep their head down.
That's like saying IOHK is launching a new project, but Cardano has nothing to do with it. ADA has nothing to do with it. Like, it's kind of weird.
Cardano wouldn't do that because it's actually a legit thing.
Damn, we got XRP haters in here. Isn't your boss the XRP commander?
Wait, are we talking about JavaScript?
We are actually the commander now.
It's definitely JavaScript.
Way to backpedal.
We are the captain now. We are.
Look at me. I am a captain now. That was a good movie, by the way. I like that. Okay,
I
all
never
seriousness,
saw that, man,
though.
actually.
Is this a bad look? I mean, look, the community has every right to be upset,
I think they're
right?
just being cautious because they don't want to use the XRP token for anything. That's just my opinion. And
are you still bullish on XRP?
Yeah, of course.
How bullish?
I once again for the straight tokenomics, because once the court case settles or there's a resolution, whatever the case may be, when it gets relisted on exchanges,
what's your price target?
Just off of the sheer need to provide liquidity, the exchanges are going to scoop up XRP by the millions.
Exchanges already have XRP because places like Coinbase, you can still hold XRP there.
Yeah,
so they have to have
here's
XRP.
The thing. They had their own internal reserves, and when they were going through the bull market, you don't think they sold off some of that?
No, they did.
And then moved in, or perhaps they were buying more and more of these other tokens or scooping up other tokens to provide liquidity and dumping XRP. I think that was part of why we saw the price crash. You don't need if Coinbase, for example, isn't listing XRP, it doesn't have the order books for it, you got to imagine that they're not going to keep a massive amount of XRP as liquidity. They're just going to offload that. And so for that reason, I think when it does relist, eventually, there's going to be so much supply shock because you're going to have the likes of Binance.us,
give us a price target.
And
XRP, when's court case starts getting relisted, what price?
I think you get some candles up into $2-3. And then I think it probably settles in at a 150.
Now, not to cut you guys off, but we need to make like prom night and wrap it up.
And wrap it up.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were gonna make out. We're actually done anyways, guys. Before we leave, I want to show one thing. It's been an absolute honor to be here. We will be here all week. If you want more David and Robin, make sure to subscribe to Sin City Crypto on YouTube. And I'm assuming all of you watching are already subscribed to BitBoy Crypto. Go follow Ben on Twitter. And we will be on Blockchain Basement. And if you're here from the Center community, Make sure to check out. We'll be simulcasting our live stream with Blockchain Basement, so we're excited for that. So with that being said, guys, it's been a pleasure. Huge shout out to the entire Hit Network family. We're excited to come back again. And until tomorrow, guys.
Peace.